Hello everyone and welcome yet again to another beautiful Night City Wire episode in the form of your favorite Indie Hub.
Funny.
Thank you. Joining me today we have the illustrious, the absolutely phenomenal Kinda Jesus. Hello. I had to sneeze there.
The karma.
The karma, exactly. And with me today, we also have the magnificent, over-the-top journalist over here, going on a 24-hour schedule every single day, Jinpachi.
I have no life. I only have depression. Hey, how you doing, folks?
You're whiter than usual. Holy shit. And
It's the winter! Today, it's the winter! I'm becoming whiter by the second the sun disappears, okay?
And with me today, we have the man that doesn't know what a sun is because he lives in England. We have Mr. Raven. Oh.
There's no need for the OO. And sun's overrated.
No.
We're all gamers here. Who the fuck needs a sun? You got light bulbs. Fuck you.
Wow, that's...
That was the best argument.
He's so British, it even looks like he's drinking tea.
Yes.
Look, don't make fun of me mug. Me mug's nice. And what if I'm drinking tea? Tea does be the best. Even though I'm drinking coffee.
You're absolutely right there. I do agree that... I forgot to do this. I do agree that the drinking of teas are pretty damn cool. Now, in today's episode, I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of struggled to find news to talk about because it was a very slow week yet again. 2 weeks in a row. When it comes to stream-worthy news. We have...
It's coming up to Christmas. No company's got to make noise come up to Christmas. They've got to sell. They can't make news.
Christmas is cancelled.
We'll talk about...
Well, not for this kid.
We'll talk about Ubisoft in a few weeks for sure. I mean, they're releasing Watch Dogs and they're releasing Valhalla, and Valhalla looks like a goddamn game from the Xbox 360 era.
I told you it looks like Witcher.
It does.
Even watching the gameplay, it feels like a fucking Witcher game.
Yeah, it feels like a Witcher game with a personality disorder. Well, regardless, that's...
It's got to have a personality to begin with.
Yeah.
It hasn't had a personality
and a creative
since
that
Brotherhood.
That doesn't quit in the middle of the production.
So, but let's open the show with our newest... our newest segment. There you go. Let's open the show with our newest segments when it comes to IndieHub, where we talk about the very worst company of the week and the very best company of the week. And I'm just gonna jump straight to it. As the title implies, very obviously, the worst company of the week needs to go to Square Enix. Congratulations, Square Enix!
What a prize! What an achievement!
I want to go for a runner-up and just say Nintendo as well as a runner-up.
Yeah, but we can only give the award for one.
Yeah,
but it was a close second. I think it was a close second.
If it wasn't going to be Square Enix, it would have been Nintendo for my news.
Worse, it's really weird. It's really weird. The reason being, I don't know if you guys know this very small property that no one really talks about, especially a couple years ago. It's an upcoming company called Marvel. I don't know if you guys know this. It's where...
Never heard of it.
Yeah, never heard of it. Yeah, no, I thought so. I had a lot of difficulties researching about this piece of news myself. That big boy company that we're talking about, Marvel, has decided to partner up with Square Enix. Shut up, dogs. Jesus fucking Christ.
Your dog likes Marvel. Like, shut up, KJ.
I like the basketball on top of you. They decided to partner up with Square Enix to make the ultimate Avengers experience. And when you hear the word Square Enix and when you hear the words Marvel, your ponytail of a pee-pee should be jumping with excitement. As I was. We talked about it last week. when the game first came out, when there was news about the game, I was super excited. Even Jalva was super excited. I remember we watched the very first live stream when it comes to the Avengers game, and then everything went upside down.
And I can't be any happier because knew something was going to happen in this game. This game wasn't going to be as godly as you guys were going. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Raven, how can you say shit? Boom!
Yeah, Raven, I'm on your side. I saw the first gameplay,
Okay.
and I thought this just isn't good.
And KJ, would you like to explain to the audience what has also personally happened to you now with this game?
I bought the game.
Yes.
There you go.
He just bought this game, and this legitimately happens after he buys the game.
By the way, what game is that on your PC?
Super Mario 3D All Stars. I stole it from Xbox.
It should be Marvel's Avengers, but it's not even worthy of appearing on camera. It's that bad.
Listen. The reason why I bought the game has nothing to do with my enthusiasm towards the game. Zero. Absolutely.
Sure.
But I promise.
Sure, whatever you want to say.
I'm putting my balls on the line when I say this. There's VODs of my community donating $200 for me to fucking play this game. So I had to buy the game and do a 12-hour stream on this shit. 12 hours of that goddamn
This man
same
sacrifices himself for this community.
Exactly.
No, his community just watch him suffer. It's all right.
Yeah. So I sacrificed myself. Regardless, the main point here is the game is not that bad. It really isn't that bad. But that's exactly the issue. The game is neither good or bad. It's bland. The blend
Which is probably worse.
Yeah, no, it's not probably
The game is
worse.
bland. Even if it's a bad game, it's a bad game, but it can always have that perks to it. It can still be played. But a bland game is a bland game and is good as dead.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
but that's exactly it.
Yep.
I disagree with both of you when Avengers is a bad game. I think it's worse. It's a bland one. If it was a spaghetti, right? If the gaming world were various dishes of spaghetti, we're talking CD Projekt Red with a gourmet spaghetti filled with all sorts of ingredients, and their Avenger, there it is, Avengers, right? With a little nose picking thrown into the plate and just pasta cooked.
You're getting
as Gordon Ramsay would say, "Where's the seasoning?"
There's no seasoning.
It's not even about seasoning. This is like that pasta before you cook it. It's just this hard shit.
Yeah.
Tastes like nothing.
So I will repeat Gordon Ramsay again. It's raw!
It's fucking raw.
It's fucking raw.
And then you try to cook it and it just burns itself.
But it really does. Because
Please don't make me quote him again, please.
It's apparently more filled with bugs than the ones crawling on my butt right now. I haven't showered in like a month. So
Amazing.
I'm obviously
Quarantine problems.
Quarantine bros. Yo, we're the quarantine bros. We haven't showered in a week. Well, regardless, the main problem here is we've talked about this last week, so we're gonna speed that process up. If you want to see it, just go see the podcast last week. It's a bland game with nothing enthusiastic really happening. The campaign is what you consider okay, but then again, for all the hype that the game got, it really didn't reach anything other than a very small disappointment. And
actually, I wonder how Oz thinks about it, because Oz likes the game.
Because it's a bad game. Oz likes bad game. Oz is just like me. I fucking love a good bad game, and it's buggy as fuck too. So that's always
You sadist
content.
fucks.
Yeah, we kind of.
Oh, you haven't seen me do horror games then? I'm a fucking masochist.
Well, why are we talking about it this week yet again? Very
I
simple.
love that we just spent like 5 minutes without even going to the news. We just shit on the game. Oh my god.
We need to do a open mic night, just Sig burning Square Enix. I think that wouldn't get demonetized at all. Well,
anyways, the news.
Earlier this week, Square Enix, well, Crystal Dynamics, let's be a bit fair here, has finally come out with a statement breaking the silence and talking about the upcoming free Marvel character, Hawkeye, and the story expansion as well as the new world. Noting that when the game first came out, they were really hyped to talk about Hawkeye coming out, and also talking about a completely new world and zone for players to explore. That's the big boy announcement. It's supposed to be a live service game, except of course they went the EA route, and now they postponed the goddamn DLC. Even the fucking hero. They postponed
Tremendous.
everything. They postponed everything. And they gave a generic excuse. They gave the Anthem excuse. We're very busy at work, and because of the pandemic, this is really hard. And we're also focusing on patching the game, getting it less buggy. Then don't fucking release the game. If it's this fucking buggy, it's that simple. We're working really hard, etc., etc., etc. It couldn't be more PR. It just couldn't be more PR. And they basically said we don't really have a date for Hawkeye. They say it's probably coming in November, and the new zone that players were excited for, it's gonna come in 2021. They don't really have a specific date for that either. Now, I want to ask both of you the question: why do you think that happened? I think the answer is obvious, but I want to hear it from you guys. Well, let's start with Raven. Go ahead, buddy.
Honestly, at this point, I never cared about the game in the first place. Knew it was going to go downhill, and frankly, still couldn't care any less that this shit is happening. You say they can't they can't sort of use an excuse that whatever that game that I keep forgetting the fucking name of has done as well.
Anthem.
Thank you. It's such a bad game. I can't even remember the name of the game these days.
Oh god.
But it's a case of Anthem had a different set of issues. Marvel and this game, honestly, it's poor developmentship. It's not so much they brought out the game. Yes, they brought out the game probably by the looks of it unready, slightly bugged, and somewhat in probably just about a pre-beta or just after pre-beta release. But it's just it's poor development issues, and it's a poorly made game. You can't blame time. You can't blame this. You can try. They can try to blame this and that. But personally, it's just a poor development, and it just didn't work.
Okay. Jinpachi?
Well, I'm just so confused because first, this game is already dying. And
Yes.
whenever the DLC comes out, it's gonna be already dead. And no one's gonna care.
It's dead. It's already
This
dead.
game...
Yeah, but they're pulling the DLC because the game has suddenly dropped and died.
I guess, I think, maybe they're like, oh, we're not gonna do this anymore because, well, we have a corpse that's rotten. There's already bones. And we're not gonna go with the defibrillator and try to fucking
Yeah, but
shock
the
it.
thing is, because they've already got all this DLC already pre-developed, they have to shoot for the dark. Eventually, they will just release it and pray to God that there's some poor
Soul.
bottom bloodsucker of the sea that will come out and go, ooh, maybe a little bit of seasoning on this rotted corpse for me,
Okay.
and hope for something to be
How
decent out of
sad!
it.
How sad is that? Even a fucking video game, Hawkeye, is not in the original game. Like it's a DLC.
Because
Hawkeye
it's
is
a
the
live
most-
service game, so,
Hawkeye
It should have
is the
been
most
a live
depressing
service
game, the character ever, man.
Okay, so...
What they're trying to do with games in general is bring live service to almost every game, and it doesn't work. You don't bring live service to effectively what should have been a single player game.
Yes, very
slash
true.
co-op player.
Very true.
Live services should be very much kept to MMOs and the odd first-person shooter that's multiplayer.
First-person looter shooters, yes, and first
Well,
person and looter games.
shooters, don't you dare bring it in to Borderlands.
Yeah, looter games are okay in my opinion, but here's the thing: Marvel's Avengers doesn't even feel like one, because imagine this: imagine creating we talked about this last week, but imagine creating a looter game, all right, where the loot feels as generic as a goddamn hot dog stand. Every hot dog stand looks the same. Such is the loot of the goddamn Avengers game, because the loot doesn't even change how the character looks, because they have an in-game store that you need to buy with real money from, by the way. Where it finally actually really changes the way your character looks, but that's basically the only way. It has skins sometimes that you can get for free, but those skins are really bad. Now,
I don't understand why a game like I don't see why a game like this has loot.
It doesn't. It doesn't deserve to have loot.
It doesn't need to. It should be just a beat 'em up superhero game.
Yeah.
That's all you need to, man.
Yeah, but they
Jesus.
did the loot part because they were artificially extending the game. But that's the best way to explain it. But here's the thing: I think you were right. Again, keep in mind, everyone that is watching, we don't have the actual answer for it. This is all speculation. But I actually have some numbers to run. As of right now, as of 26 minutes ago, keep in mind this is a game that came out last week.
This game came out last week?
No, not last week. Last month. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry,
thank
last
goodness.
I was about to say, come on, KJ.
Yeah.
So like-
my mistake. The game came out last month, and it had a 24-hour peak of 2,000 people watching. Playing. Sorry, playing. Watching it's even worse. 24-hour peak, 2,000 people playing. And keep in mind, this is because they don't really have content to show. They gave people free loot. And
Is this getting off the Twitch streaming per chance?
no, it's coming out of Steam charts. We're talking about Steam charts here.
Yeah.
2,000 people playing, because and keep in mind they unlocked the rewards 24 hours ago, less than 24 hours ago. So this peak is the very best peak it had in weeks. We're talking, in some cases, it got to triple digits numbers. We're talking, I'm seeing right here, 810 people playing the game on October 12th, for example.
Poor souls.
We're talking about a very big video game company, one of probably top 5 most profitable video game companies out there, and we're talking about the highest property in movie and comic books alike merging together to make a big video game. And the very best you got in weeks was 2,000 people playing. I think it's very obvious. I think they don't really have the content because they don't have the motivation to work on said content. When you
in the UK, by the way, it sold less than a third of Spider-Man sales for the PlayStation.
in the last week of September, which was when the game came out, the average player base was 7,000. The peak player base was 28,000. But keep in mind, it went so downhill so fast. It went from 28,000 to 7,000. That is a perfect example of a bad video game, period. Now, I want to give you even more stats. Marvel's Avengers right now has a total of 300 concurrent viewers on the fucking platform. Games, and I shit you not, games like
funny.
the very first Dark Souls, games like a little indie game called Noita, Games like Tekken 7. I'm just scrolling down.
7.
I'm fucking
That's
just scrolling down.
amazing.
Mega Man X3 for fuck's sake. Roblox. Metal Gear Solid 2. The first
a lot
Crash
of these
Bandicoot.
games are games that have very loyal, very strong fan
Okay.
communities, as well as cult classic games.
Okay, do you want games that don't have a community whatsoever? I'll give you a few.
I mean, Tekken 7 is just fucking random, though.
Yeah, Tekken.
And
Trackmania. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Conan Exiles, NBA 2K20, fucking 2K20, not 21, 2K20, Slay the Spire, Fallout 76.
oof, that is
That one.
it's a wound and a half.
That one is just depressing, man. They're so dead.
Listen, Laser Suit Larry, you remember that game?
Yes.
That point-and-click sexual adventure that might get you banned very easily? 581 views. And the list goes on. That's what I want you to really get it in your mind. There's games in here that have more years than me living. Super Mario Bros, Dawn of War, Outlast, the first one. Anno 1800. Fucking Spellbreak. I thought Spellbreak was that, chat. Jesus Christ. Donut Country. The Long Dark. The Forest.
Alright, I think we started to get.
Yeah.
We got the idea.
Yeah. Just one more, okay? Just one more. Hyperscape. Has more
boy.
views currently than fucking Avengers. That sums it up. Please don't be like me. If you're a content creator and your Twitch and or your YouTube is begging you to play the game, if they buy it for you, refund them. Okay? Don't do the KJ, okay? Just don't do the KJ. Just don't do the KJ. Never do the KJ. I'm gonna have to do 12-hour stream on this game, and I cannot wait for it to end. That's all I have to say. Moving on, boys. We've talked too much about this shit. Jinpachi, go ahead. Give the best company of the week award.
Best company of the week goes to the sexy CD Projekt Red that has given us the fourth and final episode of Cyberpunk 2077 Night City Wire, which revealed some of the vehicles for the video game. It's going to be over 40 vehicles. That's a lot of damage. Keanu Reeves, the character that he plays, appeared in a Porsche 911 Turbo.
It's the only car that's going to be real, according to...
Yeah, it's a real car, but done in a futuristic way. And there's also, like, bikes from Keanu Reeves' real-life company of bikes that he owns.
I actually want to get one of his bikes. Those bikes are lovely.
That is fucking awesome. And yeah, there has been other 3 episodes of Night City Wire, and a special Russian episode for all you Russians out there. But yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. Go check all out in the YouTube channel for Cyberpunk. And yeah, the game comes out November 19th. It's a month from now. It's a month from this
tomorrow.
Monday. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay.
It's gonna get delayed tomorrow.
So why are we giving it
Don't go there.
Why are we giving it to CD Projekt Red? Well, very simple.
Because they're
we've all
greatest
talked about
humans.
We've talked about it. There has been controversy behind CD Projekt Red. But that controversy it's really hard to dip your toes into, because if you go onto certain development parts of the game, they say they want to be on that crunch and they really don't mind because they're earning a lot of money. Others obviously are not that happy and they complain. Then there's the Polish laws that states that you can only work a certain amount of hours and you need to be very duly compensated. But then again, there's it's a lot of different angles you can target this piece of news, and regardless of the side you're on, crunch is not okay, but very unfortunately it's mandatory in a lot of these games. So we're choosing to put this aside until we understand more about this. But in the meantime, why we chose CD Projekt Red as the company of the week for us is very simple. By the way, they are allowing the players to walk in to Cyberpunk instead of just hiring a bunch of content creators and just sticking some gameplay on there and be done with it. I'm looking at you, Valhalla. They are actually going very extensively, even so far as to teach a couple of aspiring game developers how they did certain stuff. For example, I watched all the Night City Wire episodes. They, for example, the last one.
Jittering, well, you're cutting out every now and then.
Oh, sorry, I'm only cutting out on Discord because it's speaking shitly. Regardless, they even showcased how they managed to actually get the perfect sounds for the cars. They went in depth on how they went with the designs. They showed a couple of cars in there, and they really talk extensively and with passion, which is really important, on how they are developing this game. And for that alone, and for the very positive community they're cultivating, I think it is deserved of Company of the Week. Because, like Jinpachi said, this was the final episode of Night City Wire, and if you looked at Twitch chat, the community was wholesome, and if you went on YouTube's side, the community was also wholesome, and for a reason, because they look passionate when they were talking about specific quirks about the game, or specific races, or specific this or specific that, and it's just very nice. If you have a couple of minutes to spare, just check one of their episodes, and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. Now, Raven, give your 2 cents about this.
Like I've said pretty much every time they've had one since the first one, I'll be trying to avoid watching any of the nightlife stuff. I don't go. It's nice having the fact that you can go see all the stuff they go and have, but at the same time, I'm a gamer. I want to go in and go myself. And like I said to KJ before the stream start, it's like a friend going, "Look at this game! Look how amazing it is! Look what you can do! Hey mate, have a go." No! You have to wait. And then I have to wait almost 2 years or more. I just want to get my hands on the game and get on with it.
Yeah, I definitely understand that feeling, but that's exactly why the Night City Wire episode is really good, because it gives you the option, you know what I mean? Because,
yeah, but I want to find the options for myself. I don't want to be shown them. If I get shown them, I just know where to go and what to do when it comes to the story or side missions. I know where to talk to, who to go. I want to explore. I want to talk to everyone to find those people.
Of course, and you'll get that when the game comes out. But what I meant by there's an option here is, if you want to know a bit more about the game before the game comes out, you have said option without them pushing that option right in your face, because they're not trying to shove it in your throat and be like, consume it.
No, but there is the potential for getting too hyped for the game and then having over expectations for it. And then as soon as you go play it, because you've watched all this amazing stuff that they said that you can do and shown you, you go try and do it yourself and you get let down. At least when I go in personally myself, I haven't watched all their shit. I've only watched their very first Nightwire stuff. So I have so much to explore. So my expectations are set as a sort of almost neutral standpoint. So when I go in, anything amazing is going to be fucking amazing, regardless if they showed it or not. But potentially someone who's watched all their stuff go in with the expectation already past what like my neutral expectation is, and they might not find the game being as good as what's been hyped.
But
or what's been shown.
They have been very smart on displaying only stuff surrounding the world, not necessarily
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. They have been smart about it. but there is a point where it's too much, personally. And realistically, even with companies that have been very smart about it in the past, it can backfire. For my thoughts, anyway.
Jinpachi.
I completely agree with Oz because I'm just that kind of, not
Raven.
Oz, Raven, sorry, because I'm that kind of person that doesn't like to watch anything about anything before I go and either see the movie, play the game, whatever. So yeah, I want to be in the dark for this thing. But I have complete faith that CD Projekt Red won't fail expectation. I think they're gonna make the best game of the year, the best game of my life. God damn it!
Oh, don't say that.
It's gonna be better than Avengers, that's for sure.
Oh, it's not really that hard. You're not comparing yourself to something good here. Here's the thing. I like researching about stuff. I'm very passionate about understanding how games are. And I like it when I see a trailer that doesn't really tell me anything, but just keeps me hyped for something. I love seeing trailers, for example, on the movie theaters. Jesus Christ, that's a 2019 thing.
I cry every time.
Yeah, me too. Trust me. And I like when a game hypes me up, just purely based on nothing related to the story, because we don't know basically anything related to the story, but everything related to what they built around it. And I'm on the minority here, at least on IndieHub, because I really like researching stuff about this, and I think they deserve the heads up because they showed me stuff that for a future game developer, I'm not trying to be one, but I love understanding how games works. It's really helpful for a lot of aspiring game developers. Like how do you make a good car sound? What do you have to do? How do you go around to design cool and interesting weapons? How do you go around to design a cool world that everyone's interested in, etc.? And for those people, this is great. This is basically early Christmas. This is a tutorial on YouTube that actually teaches you a few stuff here and there. And again, it's not on your face, because if you don't want to see it, and I think that's what's great about this, if you don't want to see it, CD Projekt Red is not forcing you down your throat. They understand that there's people that just don't care about it, or just don't want to see it, and they respect that. They not only respect that, but they go out of their way to say, all right, so watch this. If you don't, you don't. Simple. No prior super advertisement about it. Just, it's there. Go watch it. If you don't want to, get out. Easy. And I think that deserves at least a slow clap.
Yes.
Do we have anything else to add over here?
Don't think so.
All right.
Don't postpone the game, please.
Again, yeah. Jesus Christ, we're tired of waiting. Raven, go ahead with your news.
Alrighty then. Let's start off 11 days ago. Nintendo has now has been sued for $5 million over the Joy-Con diff locks by a child. Believe it or not, it's not the first time a 9-year-old has tried, or actually sued Nintendo. As in 1990, a kid sued Nintendo over a Majority League Baseball game because of the $40 baseball game he got. Didn't live up to expectations. He tried to give it back. A whole load of shit happened. He sued and won. So it's not the first time Nintendo's been sued by a kid. But for anyone who has got a Switch and generally knows of the Joy-Cons that get used, the clicky slidey things that go into them, we all know that they're not the best. They do have their slight issues. But over the course of 3 years now, the Switch has been out. What has Nintendo done exactly about this? absolutely diddly squat. Have they tried to warn any buyers that are buying any new Joy-Cons? No. So due to the sort of Joy-Con diff locking, so even when you're not moving the analog stick, it will just Joy-Con and move about on screen. It's just, it's fucking ridiculous, honestly. But the suit's been done in North California by the kid and his son, or the mother's son and the mother. Brain is melting down here. It's ridiculous, but yeah, it's a problem in basically all Joy-Cons for the Nintendo Switch. But what has the Nintendo done? Absolutely diddly squat and refused to do anything about it. It's also not the first sue attempt or current sue standing for Nintendo over the Joy-Cons, but this is the first sue that has been won by a kid. The other one is still pending judgment sort of over it, but this is the latest one and it's just been done. But their lawsuit is more not over the fact that all Joy-Cons are manufacturally got this problem. It's more the case of they don't warn any. They don't have any warnings about Joy-Con problems, and they still sell them at new price. Nintendo's answer: yeah, let's reduce all Joy-Cons prices in Japan and China permanently. But the suing's been done in California, America. What the fuck about the rest of the country and the Western world? God fucking damn it!
Nah, the rest of the world doesn't need it to go. Of course.
The rest of the world is infected. So.
It's ridiculous.
Well, they say Nintendo's for kids. Well, Nintendo's money is for kids now. 5 million.
He's having a good Christmas.
Look, here's the thing. They got themselves into this mess. It's their fault because of all this lack of action. And now they're hopefully not. They're still fucking it up only in Japan and China. But let's hope that before another kid sues their ass, they can actually fix the issue.
Even the issue, or even just warning customers of the Joy-Con problem.
Yeah, it's just not that hard, and it wouldn't make that much of a difference to the success.
Also, most Joy-Cons don't even last a year. A year!
What the fuck? What is that?
Yeah, most Joy-Cons don't last the year.
What is that, KJ?
Fuck? It's a triangle.
It's a Triforce.
It's Triforce. I'm eating the Triforce. It's basically...
it's a bread? It's
a pancake.
It's a cake? Or...
Amazing.
He doesn't even know.
Where did you get that
He's
shit?
just eating things now.
My mom brought it for me. It's good. It's good. First ever time I'm trying this. It's good.
Oh, live reaction right here.
Live reaction.
What is your feelings? Is it raw?
It is raw, yeah.
Does it taste better than
the Berlin balls? You know the
Yeah.
Berlin balls? It has
Yes.
basically the Berlin ball cream in the middle.
Oh,
Yeah.
I need that. I want that.
It's good. It's good. It's good. Regardless, so regarding the sue, I hope I hate saying this because I like Nintendo, but fuck you in some of the decisions you make, Nintendo. This is one of them. You tried solving the issue by making
Not
the
solving
issue
the issue.
solvable in Japan. Basically, it's not even solved. It's just slightly less of a problem if you can buy them slightly cheaper, which is slightly cheaper. I saw the pricing. They went down $10. It's not even close to how much they should be costing right now because they feel cheap because they are cheap. My Joy-Cons started having a problem already. The analog stick on my left sometimes goes up without me even touching it.
Yeah, the part of the complaint from the kid is the fact that was it the complete alleged that the controllers started registering false movements within a month, and even without being handled at all. That's pretty bad, and obviously within a year being sort of completely unusable. That's quite bad. Like enough, I never ever really use my Joy-Cons at all. I keep them on there. Maybe use them if I ever take my Switch out. Other than that, I use a Pro Controller because I know they're fucking flimsy as fuck. You don't need to be a super genius to know that they're flimsy as hell.
They are. They really are flimsy as fuck.
Great, but flimsy.
No, they're not great. They're not great. I disagree with that. They're okay. At the very best, they're okay. And the fact that they're doing this price change because they're basically forced to really leaves a very sore taste in my mouth. Nintendo, fix your shit, please.
The fact that they cost fucking £50. That's £25 fucking per Joy-Con. And you have to buy them both together.
Yeah. And that's
my Pro Controller was 50. At least that's lasted 2 years and more, and it still is one of the best controllers I've ever had in my life.
That is a very serious issue because, like, again, my girlfriend bought a new set of Joy-Cons. She had to pay €60 which
would be literally 50 British pounds.
Yeah. €60 for a pair of Joy-Cons. She only had one of them fucked up, but Nintendo, like the big brain they are, they don't sell it separately. Like, you want the left controller or the right controller? No, they're like, fuck you, give us money. And that is greedy as fuck, and fuck you for that.
Yeah, and if you do try to get refunds or potential replacements, they will literally go, you will have to have video evidence proving that this is a legitimate issue with your controllers. And it's like, seriously, you know this has been a problem since the Switch has come out. You know there's manufacturing issues with
Here's my special vlog about Nintendo fucking my ass.
Oh, kinky.
We'll be the first one. Remember, the Nintendo CEO's president of America is called Doug Bowser. Well, there's nothing really that much to talk about this, right? It's kind of a news that we had to report, but nothing really that we can say.
It's just funny. The kid's got a good Christmas coming ahead.
Kid's got a good Christmas coming ahead. I hope he gets a Lamborghini.
Fuck that, no.
So on to the next news. We're talking about my favorite game this year. So far, at least. So far. CD Projekt Red might take the throne right now. A little game that some of you might not know, called Genshin Impact. The Beast, also known as
Breath of the
Wild.
Waifus of the Wild. This game has managed to recuperate all the money they lost while developing the game in fucking 2 weeks. Now, let me start by saying this is a live service game. But a live service game actually done right, because the stupid amount of content that you have in that game rivals almost no game in the market right now. And they're nowhere near finishing the game, because they are planning to add 7 cities in total, and we currently only have 2 cities and 2 instances. And if you go and look at the map is absurdly big. It is a really nice game that unfortunately has a bit too greedy of a microtransaction system, but then again, you don't need to pay a single dollar if you just want to play the game, because you get a lot of free characters, and said characters are really viable and they're really good, and you can multi-summon and try to get the other characters also for free, just by exploring the game and grinding the game out. Not even that big of a grind, to be honest. But I just want you to know the number that they wasted while developing the game. $100 million. They used $100 million to develop the game. And in 2 weeks, I want you to understand this. 2 fucking weeks, they managed to recuperate every cent from it, surpassing even the value of the game itself in those said weeks. But then again, it's really, I'm really not.
But didn't you say this game was originally a mobile game?
It is a mobile game. It's not was originally.
Then, in all fairness, is as much as they adapted it for PC and brought all that same content over and potentially some more content, they probably haven't like how to say this. They probably they have because they let the game for mobile and then just sort of adapted it for PC. It doesn't require as much money as building a brand new game from scratch.
I believe,
and of course they can.
I believe you're wrong.
It's my interaction.
I believe you were wrong because the game at least was first showcased on a PlayStation 4 press conference in Japan.
Then you've misinformed me, or because I know nothing from the game until you guys told me about it.
Yeah, it was first showcased in a little showcase in a little E3, but for Japanese people in Japan, and people really loved it. And the thing is, regardless of being a mobile game or not, this is Marvel's Avengers wet dream, both in content and in player base, because just people that pre-registered alone, and this is pre-registered, a lot of people didn't even knew the game was free, like you, for example, Raven, not throwing shade there.
Oh, no.
Just the amount of people that pre-registered surpassed 3 million. 3 million. That is an absurd amount of people just for pre-registering. And that is just on PC and PlayStation 4. We don't have the metrics of the people that pre-registered through the Google Play, because you don't really have that number. You only have the number of people that are playing the game. So, in total, this game has blown everything off the roof this year. It makes Fortnite now look like a bunch of kids' game. Actually, no, that is a bunch of kids' games. That was an honest mistake there. I didn't even try to make a joke there. But yeah, my point is, I'm really not surprised, given that if you go on YouTube, no joke, and you just put the name Genshin Impact, you know what happens, boys? The first things that show up are, and I quote, I spent $5,000 in this game. I spent $200 in this game. I spent $1,000 in this game, and this is what I got. I spent this much in this game. I did 10 multi-summons, which cost you more than $100. Way more than $100. My God. I spent X amount of money. And the list goes on and on and on. All the YouTubers that I had that either played mobile games or are into that sort of game, they all, at the very, very, very minimum, paid $100 to summon on this game. Now imagine that multiplied by, let's say, out of those 2 million, 3 million, imagine that 10,000 decide to spend $100+ in this game. You can already see how easily it is for people to spend good amounts of money in that game. I myself spent money on a game, and I don't usually spend money on free-to-play games. I paid $5 for a summon, basically, and didn't regret it. It's not like I am against paying for free-to-play games. If they're good, and I'll do it. But yeah, it's just been blown off the roof. Miho, is it the company? They came out and said that they were hoping for the game to be somewhat successful and belong to some sort of a niche, but they were nowhere near close to the estimate of players that they initially intended, for the positive, obviously. They intended on having around 50,000 to 100,000 people and recoup the game's profits in around a year or two. But there you go, 2 weeks, and they're already done. They already made it. 100 million, that easy. Boys, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, they've recovered the cost, and it is an amazing feat. But yet again, I'm just gonna stick with my thing. It started as a mobile. Well, from what you told, it started from a sort of PS4/mobile style game. It relies on a ridiculous amount of microtransactions, which you don't have to do, but obviously there's going to be in-game improvements for it, and I'd rather not.
I actually have the stats of the amount of multi-summons I did right here. I did, as of right now, 14 multi-summons. I only needed the help of one $5 transaction to do the 14th one, because I was grinding away on the in-game currency, and I needed the extra, and I was like, yeah, I could grind a bit more, or I can, I'll do it. They deserve it. And keep that in mind, because right now I have the very best character in this game. It's a character named Venti. People are still discussing whether if he's a man or a woman. I have another 5-star character. I have 5 4-star characters, and I have my main, which is also a 4-star character, which is the nice guy. I have more than half of the characters of the game right now, which is 20-something characters, completely for free. And I am super okay when it comes to end game content, because I'm currently on end game content. Again, I spent $5, but I didn't even have to. I think I got a weapon, not even a character on that summon. All of that completely for free, Raven. So their microtransactions are there, and they very easily facilitate your progression. Yes, true. But again, I'm in-game content, and I really didn't have to do anything specific to go out of my way to buy stuff.
No, but there are people that can, and because people can do it, it's a pay-to-win game. And we've talked shit about pay-to-win games before, and it's for the people who can fucking afford it. It's just going to be a cakewalk for them.
It's not, because what you get, Raven, is different abilities. When it comes to making your character powerful, you need to grind as I need to grind, or as Jinpachi would need to grind if you play the game. It's just a matter of what's your favorite character, and if you want that favorite character. Because you're paying for the game, you get nothing, and I mean nothing, other than weapons and characters. And the best weapons are the ones that are in the world, and the characters you can very easily get 4-star and 5-star characters without having to spend a cent. So I disagree that it is pay to win. I definitely, for now. If it comes to the point where the game stops being free to play and starts being actually pay to win, I'll be the first one to say fuck that game, or bad.
What do you think, Jinpachi? Because you've been pretty quiet there. You're also muted.
I think that, there are some concerning things like I keep mixing you up, man. I'm sorry. I'm racist. Raven is saying...
Just call me Ginge if you need to.
Our British fella over here keeps saying, and I do agree with that, but I think, I trust KJ's assessment. I haven't played the game myself, so I trust KJ because KJ is very unforgiving about pay-to-win things. Yeah. And I have to say, it's a very cool success story, the way that this game has blown up, and I hope they don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
With, prolonging its life through, unnecessary measures. Although I do have to say, that I have the next piece of news here ready from PC Gamer, and on the side there's an article that says Genshin Impact's endgame grind is a frustrating and unnecessary problem.
Give me a second here. I actually
Because
No.
after
I'm actually
reaching
gonna go
level
on a rant
40, it
In all
becomes a
fairness, I saw that
slog.
exact same piece of news.
Yeah.
I actually have my 2 cents about this. Because
How do you
I'm
answer
seriously-
this accusation?
It's very simple. Genshin Impact players are fucking spoiled. Come at me, community. Come at me. Listen,
Please go at him. Go
I
at
have-
him,
I
community.
objection.
I have 50 plus hours of content on a live service game, and I haven't even explored everything yet. I have a lot more content to go towards too. This is a live service game, and the content that they have here is already way more than Destiny 2 has right now, with all the expansions, than Marvel's Avengers is ever gonna have, I believe. And the list goes on and on. Those are the 2 main games that are in the market right now that are live service games. And all you do, all the things you do and get are completely free in that game. Why people are talking about that is because there's no more game besides Adventure Rank 30. There's barely any content besides Adventure Rank 30, because both the game developers and I thought that people were just gonna play this game. People, obviously, there's a few apples that are gonna grind a lot, and I did, but the content that's already there is quite a lot. They're talking about Adventure Rank 40 being a grind fest because there's no more content to go towards to. They reached the maximum level the game developers have, and they're complaining that they're missing content. Even though there's people with 100 hours that still haven't finished the game, but these guys think that a game is released and it has infinite content. It can't have infinite content, and the developer said that the next big content patch is coming next month. So people are out here complaining about it, saying that this game lacks content. When you go into a goddamn game, you explore so much, and you have so many puzzles to solve, you have so many good story bits to do, but I don't understand why they're like this. Because again, I'm one in the game. Is there grind? Yes, there is. But that's because I understand that this is as much game as the developers put so far. Period. It's a free-to-play game. A free-to-play game that's not pay to win so far. With 50 plus hours of content that is new and fresh. And they say they're going to add more content. For me, this is the ideal live service game. For me, this is the ideal way to do a live service game. But people expect to jump into a new game and have infinite content to grind. That's not how it works. It's never going to be like that. And I just think it's wrong.
Let's see what the next patch adds.
Yeah.
And if it's worth it.
Another
guess.
point. They're already putting characters at level 70. The game recommends you to have, at the very best, characters at level 60, which is what I currently have right now. The game is only made towards getting those characters at the very best level 60. In order to get to level 70, you need to be adventure rank 40. I need 2 hours of my life, Jinpachi, where I am definitely looking to get my adventure rank up, to get my adventure rank to like 30 to 31. So imagine the amount of hours that people put into going to adventure rank 40. It's insane. And they're already complaining, there's no content. Fuck this game's bad because it doesn't have content. No.
But isn't it, here's the thing, isn't it weird, by the way, to have a game that you think if you go over a level, you're going too far? Then why do you allow to go over that level? Why don't you just stick with 60 and patch up extra levels in the next patch with new
A
content?
man with sense right here.
Because
it's just a weird policy.
because they would still complain they would complain even more if there was only the game until adventure rank 60. Because there's no way you can please all the parties. The very best you can do is do damage control, right?
But what would be better? Them complaining because they've max cap and have nothing else to do, but you have content coming out next month, which will expand that level to the next cap, or have a cap that keeps going up with nothing.
I
there is something though.
No. What would you rather out of those two?
I need to correct you first. There is something.
What would you want out of those two?
Ideally, I would want an infinite universe, but that's not.
No. What would you want out of the two? Because this is what you realistically have at the moment.
I would prefer the second one. I would prefer the second one. And the reason
so you prefer to keep leveling with no content?
Because you guys are just looking at this as you as a player and no one else. Because you as a player, you guys play the game casually. Period. But when you're in a video game company, you need to think about an array of players, and then there's those that play the game, there's those that barely play the game, and then there's those that suck the milk dry until there's nothing to suck.
But what? So this, infinite level without content benefits.
It's not infinite. It's not infinite.
But going over the resources, let's say, who does it benefit? In that case?
Those who really want to be ahead of the curve. Those who really want to be like number one player.
But aren't those exactly the same people who are complaining?
Yes.
Then they fucking failed.
Yes, they did. But it's still that the option is still there, and I'm probably gonna go for that option regardless.
Wouldn't you think that those players would be like, I'm super happy that I reached level 60. There's nothing else to do for now, but I am waiting for the next patch so I have new challenges. Don't you think that would work better?
You have challenges on level 70. You do. There's a thing called the Spiral Abyss. But
why does the company
floors.
doesn't recommend the fucking level 70 then?
The company doesn't recommend the level 70 because they haven't reached a point yet, both in the story line and on the game itself, where that would actually matter. Period. And
here's another thing, and we're going way over with this specific topic, but here's the thing. Don't you think that if they made things for level 60, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now that they're releasing new things, aren't the new things releasing expecting players to be at level 60? Therefore, players that are over level 70 will have an edge that the developers don't want them to.
No.
And therefore will have an easier experience than pretended.
No, because the way the game works is every 5 adventure ranks, starting from adventure rank 20, the world evolves with you. So, for example, someone that's at adventure rank 40 is going to have, I'm willing to guess, either adventure rank 5 or 6. The enemies and the bosses will also be at adventure at level 60s and 70s. It's the world evolves with you. Your instance evolves with you, not
it's
just
like the Borderlands thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
So theoretically speaking, you get better loot at level 70 that's adequate for you. But if I want to play the story beats, they will say you need to get to adventure ranks X, but you can very easily get to the normal player base. For example, the last story chapter was adventure rank 30. That's the advisable. But I've seen people with adventure rank 35, adventure rank 40s doing the same exact quest, and it was as hard as it was for me. They get a slightly better loot, but again, it pays off because it's adequate for them and not adequate for you. Your character
game adapts, then.
Exactly. Yes, the game adapts.
Right,
It's not a you're too OP for this shit, get out of here situation,
All right.
And in my opinion, I don't think they did the best outcome here. I do agree with that 100%, that it should have been targeted better. But my main point of criticism is not that. My main point of criticism is to the community that expects a game that is as big as this to be even bigger for the sake of being bigger, instead of having actual content that people worked on. They just want some tacked on content, and that's it. They want the game to be bigger without them being ready to do so when the game is already big. That's what I'm up against, because I myself, again, I'm on what's considered late game. I finished the main story. I'm doing the Spiral Abyss. I need to grind my characters to level 60, at least 6 of them. It's not easy. And it's not a bore fest, because I can hop into Big Face Killer's world and grind some with him. I can do the mains, which are little dungeons. I can try the Spiral Abyss, which is the end game, and the list goes on. And when I'm done with that, I'm done with the game so far, and wait for the next portion of the game. That's how it should be. That's how this should be made. But again, there's the extremists, which are the main people that are complaining, that and streamers that grinded the game to a point where it doesn't matter anymore. Both of them are complaining because they already spent 100 hours into the game, and they don't have anything else to do. That's what I don't agree with. That's basically kind of it.
All right.
Have you tried the game yet, Shinpachi?
No, I haven't. No.
I don't even know if it works on your PC or not, so you have to see if that works. Yeah. Because if it doesn't, I'm actually gonna make fun of you for having a mobile game that doesn't work on your PC.
Well, I've suffered worse bullying, so
yeah.
My PC has disappointed me already enough.
You should be playing when you can, because we can't do co-op just yet. You need to get to adventure rank 15, which is around, I'd say, 4 or 5 hours of gameplay. So get to doing that. What type of beer is that? What type of beer is that?
So what?
What type of beer is that?
A beer.
Gee, thanks. Is it Lindman's?
It's Budweiser.
Budweiser. Okay. It's acceptable. All right,
I like it. It's sweet.
Moving on to the next piece of news. Jinpachi.
Yes. So, Dr. Disrespect designed Rogue Company's new map. Rogue Company has already had more than 8 million players, according to iRes. It's the most successful launch for iRes Studios ever. I'm a Smite guy, so I'm happy for them. And it's still in open beta. And now, Dr. Disrespect has a new arena. And it's a map designed by the streamer, and he was also a former Call of Duty level designer before he became a streamer, so he knows what he's doing. He did it. iRes also recreated Dr. Disrespect in-game, a character skin, so you can actually put on his custom skin and be Dr. Disrespect yourself. Hopefully, he doesn't get Twitch banned, in this case YouTube banned, and doesn't get arrested for whatever he did, and so it doesn't backfire. But
no, let's hope nobody else will get banned because of them using his skin.
Because that's a real possibility. That is a fucking real possibility.
On Twitch, that might be fucked up. So, let's see what happens with that. But, I guess
Twitch says any affiliation with them. Technically, using his skin is affiliation.
Okay, so if you play on his map, will you get banned for it?
I don't think it's about the map, but about the skin. Because it's him.
Unless the map will have statues of him, then probably you might have a chance of getting told off.
It has his logo for sure.
Look, I don't know what the hell's up with Dr. Disrespect. I don't know what he did. But, I'm basically...
Well, considering Ninja has a feeling that Dr. Disrespect does know, but won't say or show. And considering Ninja used to have a very close relationship with Twitch. Possibilities.
That's a really good keyword there.
Possibilities.
But at the same time,
Twitch better than anyone.
Shroud but at the same time, Shroud, the one that actually knows Dr. Disrespect and has an equally good relationship with Twitch, some would say even better relationship than Ninja. He came out and said Doc really has no idea why Twitch banned him, and Twitch never really confirmed what it was exactly.
But at the end of the day, that could all just be a case of he's not allowed to, and that's what he's been told to tell people.
Yeah,
Here's-
except he came out and said a lot of times that he's suing, and you can actually see the actual sue, because all public cases are all cases are public, and if you go into the California Justice Department website, you see an actual sue from Dr. Disrespect towards the company Twitch. I mean, the one that seems to be hiding something over here seems to be Twitch more than Dr. Disrespect, because everything that he's done has been kind of open. And again, I want to believe him because I did see clips of him actually talking about this, and in some cases, he was legit on the verge of tearing up. Not as a character, but as a person. And he seems to have spoken with God-to-God honesty. Because he said it himself. Imagine spending years and years of your life building a relationship with your audience, and on the very next day, for some reason, they refuse to tell you.
Imagine building a relationship with your audience and then you commit a crime. Look, this is a Schrodinger's cat situation. It's both scenarios at the same time. It's either this is great for IRES because it's a popular streamer, good fun promotion for the fans, all that shit, or this guy's fucked up and someday it's gonna be all cringe because this guy got in trouble. So let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
But that's the question I was gonna ask you guys. Do you think streamers are actually gonna get banned for using Dr. Disrespect skins?
Yes.
Look,
it's not.
My opinion is that
it's not the worst thing Twitch has done, but it is not out of Twitch's standard to do so.
okay, but the question really is that okay? I don't think it's okay.
No, zero okay.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
don't
okay.
think it's okay.
It's not okay.
However,
by Twitch's rules on ban people, it's sad that it's technically his content. Using his content or having interactions with him is against term of services.
If Wolfenstein, if you're playing Wolfenstein on Twitch, and Hitler appears,
No.
you don't get banned.
No.
So if you don't ban for Hitler, don't ban Dr. Disrespect.
It's true.
I can't believe you're saying that.
No, but it's true.
I can't believe you're using that argument for fuck's sake.
But it is true. Okay.
He's
so
dead.
He's the worst human being, or one of the worst human beings.
Okay,
Like,
all right.
You can't find Hitler on GIFs in Messenger, all right?
Yeah, no, but that's kind of TOS. that is TOS. But now displaying it on a characterization of media is not bannable. But if you're using it to spread,
Yeah, it's
You know.
it's, I think this is a matter of censoring freedom of speech and artistic choice. It shouldn't happen.
okay. So
Hopefully.
let's give the example one of the streamers gave. Completely by chance, completely randomly.
Some guy appears with the skin.
No. I'm actually gonna refer something specific. COD and Dr. Disrespect always went hand to hand, and there was a COD tournament a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he lost that, didn't he?
Yeah. So in this, I think it was semifinals, Dr. Disrespect and a Twitch streamer had to be a team because it randomly, I might add, got to that point. Through the random algorithm, they put them together in a team. As you're fighting for actual money, you're obviously gonna try to talk with Dr. Disrespect. Twitch on the very next day changed the policy that if you get Dr. Disrespect in your goddamn lobby and he speaks, you might get banned.
It's not so much personally him. It's anyone who's been officially banned.
Yeah, anyone who's been officially banned. But I'm giving the Dr. Disrespect ideal because it's the one that's more fresh. But how is that the streamer's fault? The Twitch streamer's fault?
Yeah,
It's not, but it is a loophole of their banning system, and they changed it to cover their asses, as well as stop any future cases.
You know, they ban the person, they ban the person's content, and that's it.
Yeah,
You know, that's what it is.
but I don't think I should be to blame if Dr. Disrespect ends up with me as a partner because I chose random partners on a tournament that's gonna give you good amount of money.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense.
In the tournament.
And
yes,
what?
it sucks.
Here's
but
a better
it's-
a better example.
But it's mandatory on the NDA though. It was a tournament for streamers. It was in the NDA.
It does make it a little bit awkward, but
Here's a better
Twitch
example.
But the thing is, at least Twitch has done that after the tournament.
Yeah.
At least-
so future
at least-
tournaments.
Maybe they have to consider something. But go on, Japachi, I know you're dying to say something.
Yeah, here's the better example. It don't even need to be a tournament. It's just like you're playing a random game, and Dr. Disrespect just happens to be playing that game at the same time. You get him. Oh, and it appears like Dr. Disrespect has entered the lobby. Instant ban! Because the fucking name appears.
It's not as easy as that.
I can change my name to Dr. Disrespect on Steam. I can get people banned. Yes!
Ban KJ. Ban
No,
KJ.
play DBD. Go as a killer and name yourself Dr. Disrespect. And every single survivor main in DBD just
Dead by
instant
Daylight.
ban. Just like, bye TV people.
Play Among Us and
but
call him yourself Dr. Disrespect, and he was the imposter.
Here's the thing. Twitch has come out and said that through random facts, like if he joins your lobby and you mute him, Twitch is not going to do anything about it, right? Like if you cover yourself, if you protect yourself from him ever speaking or showing any content.
Like he's the fucking COVID virus. You don't have no fucking cover. Use face masks when you play with Dr.
But it's true. It's basically what you're gonna have to do. Fucking wear a face mask.
Oh
It's-
my god.
They banned anything referencing Dr. Disrespect, and it's weird as hell. And this causes that's why I'm saying this causes some really weird questioning. Am I gonna get banned if I happen to play Rogue Company and I happen to stumble upon his map and his face is splattered all over the place? Or do I buy his skin because I think it's actually a cool skin without knowing who Dr. Disrespect really is? Because some people don't. And get banned in the process for it too? What's the board lines here? And Twitch, they can shift the tides. They can be like, oh, Shroud used the Dr. Disrespect skin. Oh, well, but it's fine.
You know, here's the thing. We're getting out of end, but look, he must have done some fucked up thing. Like,
there's only one running theory here, and I find it somewhat plausible.
What is it? There is no way for Twitch to just ban him without an actual, real fucked up reason.
The real fucked up reason is cutting costs. Let me explain. So Mixer done, right? Dr. Disrespect, by the time Mixer was at its peak, got offered a contract from Mixer, and Twitch countered that contract with tripling down, according to a lot of somewhat trusted sources, tripling down what Mixer offered to Dr. Disrespect to remain on Twitch. And that's how Dr. Disrespect remained on Twitch. Now that Mixer's gone, Twitch went after both Shroud and Ninja. Both of them. Again, because there was also the possibility of YouTube. And Shroud even started streaming on YouTube way before started streaming on Twitch again. So they tried recruiting yet again Ninja and Shroud. And according to the rumors, what Twitch did was they broke the contract with Dr. Disrespect because he was being paid by the year instead of just a big sum and you remain for 3 years. No, it was by the year. They cut contracts with him and they started contracts with both Ninja and Shroud because both of them together give way more views than Dr. Disrespect.
Here's the thing. That theory fails in one simple premise. It doesn't understand how contracts work. Because you can't just fucking butcher a contract without proper reason. There needs to be a reason. And Twitch needs to have a reason.
But here's the thing.
That is legally... like, oh, we're cutting costs. No, you have to keep the contract up. But you're going to have to pay him the contract.
But here's the thing.
Even after you break it.
Here's the thing. That's where the Twitch TOS comes for. You can get banned for basically everything. You can get banned by saying the cunt word. Because it theoretically can be applied to what's it called? You can, because Twitch can just come in here and say we're banning you based on harassment towards someone else just by me telling Raven you're a cunt. If that's what they want to do, they can, because their TOS, their terms of service, is as bad as that. It's
wouldn't
left.
they just do that with Dr. Disrespect? Like, he pick a stream where he insults an opponent and you're done. If you're gonna do something and you don't say the reason,
but that's not gonna go well.
Why don't you say the reason?
But that's not gonna go well with the fans and with the Twitch community, because they see that Twitch is this very easy glass ceiling to break. If you really think about it, this theory makes more sense than anything else, because you can say maybe a few streamers have come out and falsely accused Dr. Disrespect of harassment. Falsely already.
Also, isn't Dr. Disrespect one of the most valuable assets that Twitch had? And before it
hasn't been for a while. He has been top 10, yes. But compared to Shroud numbers, for example, he has been lower. And if you're telling me Ninja and Shroud both get a contract and Dr. Disrespect's out, it starts being a possibility.
This is too rough to just be business things. I don't believe it, to be honest.
But it's the only theory we have. We have no idea what it is. And I think we're not going to know. Because that's how...
Until he gets arrested.
Until he gets arrested. That's how the world goes. Well, coming up with the last news, Raven.
Alrighty then. Steam is holding a digital tabletop festival and sale next week. So yeah, they finally sort of... Tabletops and games have always been a thing, but tabletops and gaming tabletops, as much as it's been a thing, they never really get their debut, do they? Yeah, there are games out there like Tabletop Simulator, gotta love flipping the tables, and obviously you got the classic stuff like Monopoly. We need to do a Monopoly game. We need to do a Monopoly stream.
We do. We can all see if we can get Tabletop Simulator, and we'll get access to a lot of games.
Oh god. But yeah, it's nice to see that Steam is trying to do this and put a limelight on these games, because a lot of original RPGs were often direct translations of Dungeons and Dragon games. Like Baldur's Gate and all those really old games. So it is nice to see that Steam is trying to put a limelight and a spotlight on something that's really underrated these days, honestly.
Very underrated. Yeah, I would be playing that. I would be playing a board game last week if it wasn't for my bitch sister.
Oof.
If it wasn't for almost getting infected with coronavirus.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It wasn't for that. Long story. I'll tell that story later, probably. Regardless,
Long story short, social distancing.
Pretty fucking please. Respect the rules.
It's just our generation as sort of, not even our generation, the generation below us now. They just don't know what board games are, because board games is borderline an ancient tradition of families and friends and being next to somebody. Fuck you, Corona.
Yeah, and suplexing someone in real life because they
flipping somebody's real table that's made of glass everywhere.
And then using a chair shot right on people's face. Yeah, fucking love that.
And you killed Grandpa for Christmas.
For the next sort of 5-day event next week, will feature interviews, panels, play sessions, and streaming activities that explore the fusion between physical and digital games / board games. And it's encouraged for everybody to try and get involved and get down dirty into it, because it should be fun. Plus, plenty of sales for anyone who loves buying some cheap games.
Yes.
Always nice.
That's basically it. We don't really have that much to talk about in that specific regard. Do you guys have anything else to say?
Not really.
Coronavirus.
Well, finally coming over to our closing statements regarding the upcoming games coming this week. Raven,
Goodness
go ahead.
gracious.
Joe Vai, if you're listening to this, fuck you, because on October 20 for the PC and PS4, Amnesia Rebirth is up. It is it's the next game in the series. It looks so good. It is basically a statement of what proper horror aspects in the game should be and how they can play through. Great bit of psychological and puzzle horror, and this is the first game they've made in a very long time, and it looks really, really good. So if you want to get your socks off because it's Spooktober, then do hit this game up, because I can guarantee you someone will probably make me suffer by making me play it. Fuck you all.
Yes. That's all I have to say about it. Yes.
Well, next up we have expansion for Doom Eternal. What the fuck?
DLC.
It's a big name.
It's not a DLC. It's an expansion. Let's call it like it is. A DLC. It counts as the DLC, obviously, but it's
DLC stands
a
for
new-
downloadable content. If you download it and it's a content, it's a DLC.
Yeah.
Porn is DLC.
yeah, the fucking Sims.
Yes, for my right hand.
Well, Doom Eternal is a full story-based expansion coming to the Switch, to the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. It's going to be a DLC based on the Ancient Gods, as the title implies. Doom Eternal: The Ancient Gods Part 1. It's going to be a big expansion with a good couple of more single-player levels to go through, new enemies, new bosses, and a couple of reasons why I might install Doom again if my friend has the DLC somehow. Coming October 20 for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One, like I said.
Up next, we have Drone Swarm, where you can control 32,000 drones in a strategy adventure set in space. It looks pretty fucking cool. It's being praised as a good strategy game, so if you're into that, you might check it out. I want a DLC where you actually play bugs, like a swarm of ants or bees or whatever, and you kill people. So yes, next. It's coming October 20th.
Next.
Next.
Alrighty then. Up next is The Guys. However it sounds, it doesn't spell The Guy. It's just Guy, like Guise.
The Guys.
For the PSE. The Guys in a really weird way. For the PC on October 20th. The Guys is a dark Metrovania fairy tale about a boy trapped in a body of a monster. Can he hold onto his humanity? It is up to you. It's a side-scrolling game. It does look somewhat nice. Very sort of simple, but almost Souls-like with a horror atmosphere. It looks somewhat interesting, coming out in 2 days on PC.
Next up, we have Solasta, Crown of the Magister, aka, hey, look, we can also do Baldur's Gate, the game. It's coming out in early access on October 22nd for the October 20th on the PC. It's basically a RPG fantasy game, turn-based fantasy game with cool magic powers and stuff like that. It really looks like Baldur's Gate 3. At this point, I'm wondering if there's any copyright infringement here. it just doesn't. It doesn't necessarily bring a lot of inspiration to me because one, it's early access, and two, the characters look generic. Like, if you imagine a dwarf on a fantasy realm, it's basically how it's gonna look here. So it doesn't really have that flair. But I might be wrong, and if I am, I'll be sure to say that next week. Again, coming out on October 20th.
Up next, we have the thing no one actually has. Love. A
What
puzzle
is
box.
love? Sorry.
What is love? A puzzle box filled with stories, that's what it is. It's a puzzle point-and-click game where you can interact with the past and the present and change the lives of your neighbors. And, yeah, it's like this storytelling point-and-click thing. I love the description. It goes, every life has a story. Every story has a regret. What if you could change the past? I would kill myself. That's what I would do. Anyways.
Fuck. Where to lead off with that? Up next is Tenderfoot Tactics for the PC, coming out on October 21st. Tenderfoot Tactics. The story is premise of a party of goblins is granted magic by an ancient spirit. Wander the archaeological fight, the stupid lands, however you fucking say them, fighting back the terrible fog, wield elements or elemental powers with wild repercussions in this open world tactical RPG. It literally has the same sort of tactical RPG as the XCOM series. So if you like really, really simple looking graphics, with probably not much story by the looks of this, but yeah, knock yourself out. It's one of the worst RPGs on this, turn-based games on this list, other than my last game, which I'm gonna shit on even more.
Oh my goodness.
Well, next up is Disc Room. Now, I usually don't just copy and paste what they say, but I need to because this game is really hard to explain, so I'm just going to say this. Are you ready to get sliced in half? The year is 2089, and a giant disc has appeared in orbit of Jupiter. Step into the oversized spacesuit of a brave scientist and explore the sprawling intergalactic slaughterhouse. That's how they describe the game.
And by the way, it's not a disc like it's a CD where you listen to music. It's a seesaw. I'm disappointed. I wanted an album or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
like
a seesaw.
vinyl.
It's not one seesaw. It's a bunch of seesaws. It seems to be a roguelike, or at least a roguelite, story-driven game. Maybe story. It doesn't really say that much. It really doesn't. I'm pretty sure, judging by the GIFs and the trailer that I just saw before we started this, it seems to be sort of a you need to dodge the disc style game, and the animations look like a Flash game in a good way, and it's really hard to explain this one. It's just, if you're interested, again the name is called Disc Room, coming for the PC and the Switch on October 22nd.
Up next, we have Double Pug Switch, which is not... Oh, it is coming out on Switch too, but it's not just on Switch. It's Double Pug Switch coming out on all platforms. It's a side-scrolling, 2D side-scrolling game where you take control of a pug, which is a dog.
No!
And you play
PTSD.
through 32 levels spread across 4 alternate dimensions, and you...
Goat Simulator!
You can unlock 40 unique hats. Cowboy hat. Even a brain. Become a puglionaire.
They're gonna need a brain if they played this.
By collecting gold coins to spend in the hat shop. Earn a perfect score. And find the special purple coins to unlock a special hat. So
Yeah,
this is
I'm
a
gonna kill
very-
myself now. Bye.
This is but it looks fun.
What?
Okay, without the hats. It's a weird thing to focus your game promo on, but sure. 32 levels coming out October 22nd.
Alrighty then. Dwarfheim for the PC coming out on October 22nd. Dwarfheim is the next generation of co-op RTS games, a unique RTS with co-op, PvP and PvE game modes. Choose your class, gather resource, build and defend your dwarven city, defeat opponents in competitive matches, and manage your town and units as a team and work together. It looks interesting. It does look good. I just worry because it is a RTS, but it's also a co-op RTS. That makes me worry quite a bit.
Well, next up we have I'm on Drugs Simulator, aka Hello Puppets. It's a VR
What the fuck
game.
is up with these games?
It's a VR game. It's a horror comedy adventure that turns your hand into a living talking puppet named Scout. Years ago, a bad Sesame Street knockoff called Mortimer's Handmean was cancelled and forgotten, but the puppets from the show have come to life. They're pure evil, and they have plans for you. So it seems to be a narrative-driven horror comedy story, and I digest those very well. I think if the dark comedy is there, it might be really cool.
Stream it.
Halloween. Yeah, it's Halloween. I might even stream it. The game looks absolutely beautiful. And with that being said, it comes on PC VR. I'll be right back. Someone's calling me. Keep going.
It's me up next, yes. So, we have the second expansion for Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's the Crown Tundra expansion. It's the second area you'll be able to visit with your expansion pass. If you don't have it, well, sucks for you, I guess. See for yourself this vast landscape with a lot of snow. It's a very snowy landscape now coming to the winter, season. We have a snowy expansion for the game. So yeah, go check it out. It comes out on October 22nd.
Alrighty then, the Red Lantern, and not the lantern you're thinking of, is coming out for the PC, Xbox, Switch on October 22nd. The Red Lantern is a resource management narrative game where you and your team of 5 sledge dogs must survive the wildness and find your way home. Play as the Musher as she sets out to build her dog sledging team in her new life. When I mean it's out on PC, I do mean it's out on Epic Game Store. It has a very much of the Lone in the Dark / VR kind of feel look to it. It does look good from that sense of view, but it looks good. It looks good. It looks nice. And if you want to try and get mushing with your dogs, then this is your game.
Yes.
I think you finally noticed.
What about the weird lighting?
Yeah, we've been playing on weird lighting. This is not even the weirdest one I have. I'm gonna do the rest of the podcast like this. Next up, we have Valhalla Harbinger.
Oh my god, what the fuck is happening over there?
I've got strobes.
All right.
Oh, I'd love that.
Valhalla Harbinger is the
Red is menacing.
Okay, all right. I just noticed this now while looking at the Steam page. You want to know how I know this game is gonna fail?
Do tell.
The name of the developer is Black Rose Arts.
And?
Electronic Arts. Black Rose Arts. It's judging just by that, I'm gonna tell you that it's not gonna work.
BR Sports.
And now
the shit.
I'm gonna tell you why I know for sure it's just not gonna work. Valhalla is a Viking universe and slasher with deep melee combat. It's also a survival game, and it looks like one. You play as you fight brutal battles in Midgard, get off Loki's traps, and feel Thor's power. Meet your fate in place between life and death. Witness the beginning of the end of the world. Ragnarok is coming.
What if this is better than Assassin's Creed?
I mean, the screenshots make it look really cool, but then again, I can make pretty screenshots with Wallpaper Engine. Doesn't mean I have a game to show off.
Let's see what happens.
It just looks like...
Considering they can't even show off the... Considering they can't even show gameplay trailer when they say they're showing gameplay trailer, I don't think you can talk shit. Talk shit.
Yeah. I mean, the game doesn't really look the most interesting, but then again, if I'm wrong, I'll play and finish this game. It's coming on PC October 22nd in early access, which is also, problematic.
All right, for my final game, it's Supermarket Shriek. Do the re-sound, KJ, please.
The resound?
Whatever you do.
That's no.
That's the game.
There you go.
That's Supermarket Shriek for you. It's I guess Mario Kart racing game, but in the supermarket. But it's not in third person. It's
it's Micro Machines,
and it's been out for a while, but it's now coming for the PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC on October 23rd. So go get those paper towels to clean your butts.
This is not a bad game. This is actually a decent game. Yeah, it's a decent one. It's not. I'm not gonna go to bed thinking about this and then get a very arousing erection out of it, but it's not a bad game.
You survive.
Yeah, you survive.
And for my final game, and the final game on the list that we've got, Transformers Battleground is coming out for PC, PS4, Xbox, and Switch on October 23rd. The game that nobody has asked for, nor want, nor need. Transformers Battleground. The story is Bumblebee and the Autobots have a new commander. You assemble your squad and roll out for battles against the Decepticons and team up in a local multiplayer. It is a strategy, turn-based local co-op game, and it should be fucking gone. Cause no one asked for this shit.
It could be a battle royale game.
Don't.
With robots.
I'll come find you.
It's
you can't.
It does not look good, personally.
We're gonna go on lockdown. You can't hit me.
This is the true game that looks like a fucking mobile game.
It does.
It really does look
really
like
does.
a mobile.
It really does.
It's a disgrace to turn-based and strategy.
Who knows? Maybe it's fun somehow. I don't see it, but maybe
You
it's
can
fun.
fucking stream it.
Oh no, I'm not touching this.
24-hour Transformer Battlegrounds live stream.
So yeah, that's coming up for October 23rd, and that's the last game on the list, everybody.
Yep. That's
All right.
it. It's
Ladies
a
and
wrap.
gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, like every single generic YouTuber does and say. There's Steve for you, the final Smash character, for some reason.
Without arms.
But it's not. There is a next. It's his
Yeah.
last Smash one for this current
Here's
roster.
his ass.
Yeah,
Got his sexy bum.
it's a weird roster. Regardless, there you go. Have a good day. Have a good night. Don't forget to tune in later for our individual streams where we're gonna be doing some Call of Duty Cold War. And where we're all gonna talk about how bad the MP5K is in that game. Bad as in, please actually fix your goddamn game. Activision, seriously, MP5 is too OP.
Which should we do in 2 hours?
Yeah. I can play that game for like an entire afternoon, and I did. I played on my stream when the game came out, and then I went to Jalvi stream, and it's really fun to play. but there's a few problems here and there that we'll talk about it probably on the stream. But for now,
Yeah.
have a good day, everyone, and we'll see you next week with EA fucking up somehow. I'm calling it. Goodbye.